What it is? All nice and decent, slip of the crew. This is Mr. Cat and Sugar Ray riding through.
Okay. What I'm showing you here is not the jacket. I want to show you my pmags. I tried my hand at painting them multicam, so this is the effect that I got. And this isn't, unfortunately, this isn't really a tutorial. I'm just using my iPhone, so I can't set it up to, show you how I did it. But, and also I did these last night. I just wanted to see if I could, and this is what I came up with. I can't tell you how I did it. I'll walk you through. And I had a bunch of these pmags in flat dark earth, and I was just noticing that they kind of stood out. It's just a big block of color, and if your gun is flat dark earth or something like that, then it just kind of sticks out. This one is actually a metal GMP magazine, and I was just messing around. I wanted to do these two because I'm gonna end up using these metal magazines for my Umarex 416C. I haven't reviewed that yet, but that gun is very particular about magazines. It cannot take the pmags, but it can take the GMP mags. You can see my hand. It's from painting last night. So anyway, yeah, that's how it looked, or this is how it's looking. Tell me if it looks nice or not. You have to be very careful if you want to try it. You have to be very careful about picking the right colors. It took me some time, and I ended up with 4 paints. And yeah, I'll show you which one. So actually, this was my first attempt at painting, something close to multicam. I think it was okay. It didn't look, the first paints I picked weren't accurate. And I mean, part of the reason was at my Home Depot, they didn't have the Krylon camo line. They just had, I had to pick from regular, like, house paints, and this is what I started off with. Actually, I was wearing some Cry Precision combat pants, and I was just looking at my pants and trying to see which paints came close. And at first I came up with these, but it turned out like this white, it said like heirloom white, and the cover looked like it was close to, something like that, but it turned out, it looks close, but it turned out that it was way too white, like that. And something I noticed that the caps of these spray paint cans are not so accurate. They're actually a lot lighter than, the paint color is a lot lighter than the caps. I picked this green, but look how it's a different kind of green. And I thought it looked like that green, but it was very, very different. So, I mean, this is acceptable, but it's just okay. But I did want to do something different. I thought that this solid, flat dark earth airframe helmet didn't look so cool. And also, why didn't I just get a multicam version, which they have? Well, the thing is, I purchased this very early, and they didn't have the multicam version yet. So after I did that, and I looked at my jacket, and I looked at what I came up with, I realized that the greens weren't correct, the white wasn't correct, so I ended up going back and I added this color, and then I ended up adding these colors, and that's what I came up with. So I ended up with using 1, 2, 3, 5 different spray paints, and I think you will need at least 5. Okay, so how do you do it? Basically, I cut out my stencils, and I use this jacket as the source to copy it from. I took these patterns from parts of this jacket. I just looked at it for a bit, and then I just drew them out and cut them out, and I labeled okay, so that was a dark brown pattern, and a green fade from darker green to this like olive green. I noticed that they had like the little parts. You'll see a lot of these just like the little dots. You'll see them like here. They break up, and they're actually very important. They create like depth. See, they're like little dots right there. And which one was this? Another dark brown. I just call it just to help myself, big spread, because you'll find like big areas here where the brown is just covering a lot of huge area here. So the way to do this, the way I found out, is to put down your green. Like that will be the base. That will cover like the most amount of the magazine. This I ended up with. Okay, satin oregano. That will be the base, and basically it's this part of the color. And then and you use like one of your larger stencils, but because I found that, or what I decided, or what I found more pleasing looking, I guess, is that when the object is smaller, like a magazine as compared to a jacket, you can use smaller patterns like this for your base green. And yeah, so I did that in some places, but that's the first color you start out with, and then you just start layering, and after that it doesn't really, I don't know if if there's a pattern on how you lay it down, but I think the second most prevalent color that I used was probably this satin espresso. Or I put it down here, because you'll see it here. So I just kind of created the patterns, and then after that you can just keep layering. The satin nutmeg, which is like this color here, and is equivalent to that color. And then gloss almond, and like I said, these things they're you can I just used like these parts, like these tiny holes, and created like those little sections, like that, you know, and it creates like depth there. I think it's, yeah, it's also right there. Gives depth. And you also need, you know, instead of that crazy, very vibrant green, I had to go back and I tried to find something a little darker than this one. And this is about the closest they have. And, you know, that will give you this. I'm glad I went twice to pick my paints, because on my second return I picked up this one, the nutmeg, and this. And you know, if I didn't have it, you know, it wouldn't be the same. And this green is the closest I could find to this, which it's not close, but you know, still it adds depth, and I think it's better than this like darker green here. Like this was too much. It was just like way too bold, I guess, and it was just standing out too much. Like here. It's just too bold. So anyway, yeah, that's it. You know, if you already have a multicam item, copy some stencils. And I'll tell you something, it was actually a little bit of a pain in the butt, because getting all these rounded things cut out, you'll need like a small pair of scissors. You know, something with like smaller blades, because it's hard to cut these things when you have huge house scissors. I think I ended up using like sewing scissors, little tiny sewing scissors, so that you know, I could make these like really rounded things. And then the other thing was, if that I found out, they look better when the lines are crisp. You know, if I come close, you might start to see how, you know, kind of like sprayed outside of the stencils. And the thing is, like, if you're gonna do pmags, this is the problem. These things are raised, and it's hard to get, you know, if you don't have your stencil flat to it, then the paint will just like come underneath the your stencil. And you know, something that I actually did was I pushed the stencil down with chopsticks, you know, just to push it down, and then I sprayed it. You know, if you look at the, you know, the genuine Magpul, the lines are actually all very crisp. So, you know, as much as you can get it crisp, you know, do that. I did as much as I could, you know, but, you know, as you can see, like, a little bit of overspray was going underneath my stencils. But, you know, from further away, like, say you're on the play field, I mean, you're not gonna notice. You know, you're not gonna notice. Yeah, so that's it. These things took me, you know, I ended up doing all of my pmags, really. So it took me a good few hours, but, you know, you also have to consider that you have to dry it between each, like, layers of color. And, yeah, make sure you let them dry so the colors don't run, because it just looks crappy when it starts to bleed. But anyway, yeah, this is how it's going to look complete. I'm running Ranger plates. I haven't put them on yet because I'm going to hit all of these pmags, all these magazines with a shot of clear coat. You'll want to do like, you know, like flat clear coat. And yeah, that was my project.
Around with the funky cold Medina. You know what I'm saying? That Medina's a monster, y'all. Funky cold Medina.